That's on. Test. Okay, audio's working now. Takes me a while to get good at this. Okay, so now let's figure out. I have got to get a new HDMI adapter. What's our depth? 21 feet. Okay, so everything's good. Except our one camera's not working. All right, so we're on Lake Conroe. 25 miles long. The heck is it? Something like 75 miles around, maybe more. Average of 20 foot deep. We're on one of the fingers where my marina is at the Water Point Marina. It's where I keep my boat. So we're driving out of one of these fingers. The lake goes mostly kind of northwest, so it goes off. The big part of the lake is off to my left. See if I can get my music working again. Got all kinds of malfunctions. There we go. Volume was down. Okay. The dam is off to my right here, my starboard side. So I've got a spoon down on each downrigger, which is usually pretty good for catching striped bass, except I've never caught one yet. but that's what a guy told me he does on this lake, so that's the only knowledge I have, so I'm trying it. But I do catch catfish off these spoons. I put a shrimp on it, on each one. So on the screen, you're seeing my live scope, which is mounted right here on this PVC pipe, and I can turn it. In fact, let's turn it right now. There. Now you can see my port side line going down with the 5-pound ball, and it's at 10 feet. Now let's see if we can find the port side one. There we go. I think I got it. There's a big fish right by it. Okay, so there it is. It's at, I'm going to drop that down another foot. Okay, so now they're both at 10 feet. But last time I was out, and it was the first time I've ever been able to do it, I actually got this so that I could see both of them at the same time, which was super cool. Okay, so there's one. Probably my speed. Let me, it's probably because of my speed. The ball is further back. So let's slow it down. I just want to see if I can see both of those balls, those weights. So what I'm going to do is start my trolling motor up front. I'm going to deploy it. Motor deploying. Then we'll go over to trim. We'll lower it down. And then we'll turn it so that it's facing just about straight ahead. And then we'll start the prop. I'll bring the prop up to about 3.5. There's 3.5 right there. There, you can see now I've slowed down and you can actually see both of the balls. So that's pretty cool because now I can, let me see if I can describe this. So right now, the live scope is pointed port and starboard. So it's looking at the balls right now. It's not looking at the lure. The lure will be, I believe the lures are going to be closer to us than what we see on those balls there. So they're not further away, they're closer. Let's see if I can confirm that by just thinking about this a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to turn this. Okay, so now we can only see the starboard ball. And I went forward with it. So in other words, the port side ball is, I gotta drive and think. So the wind is hitting my bow and blowing me. I don't have enough speed with this little trolling motor to, well, it's kind of a big trolling motor, but I don't have enough speed to counter the weight or the wind. So I'm going to turn this thing more into the wind here. And then I'm going to straighten this out again. There. Okay, so now the starboard side ball, the live scope is pointing behind it. So when I turn this again and we get to see both of them, okay, so that tells me then that, I guess it doesn't tell me anything. I'm just trying to figure out where's the lures. They're not to the right, they're not to the left. They're either forward of those balls or they're closer to us, to me, than those two balls are. Maybe somebody in chat knows the answer to that. Okay. We lost our camera. We lost our 360 camera up above. Okay, we're at 26 feet. So let me change to that for a while, just in case there's any new viewers. There we go. Now I got to get a new HDMI adapter. That's why you're not seeing the camera that's on my head. I'll switch over to it here shortly. You know what? I don't need that motor on anymore. How about that? Okay, so I can drop these down a little bit lower. We're at 25 feet. So you can see me going down on my port side. It's actually the opposite of what you had on the screen. Now we'll drop the starboard side. Down to 15 feet. It's pretty cool, huh? You can see both of them. At least we can tell if we ever see an obstacle down underwater, or if the depth starts changing, I can see that where my balls are compared to the bottom. Okay, I'm going to raise my trolling motor up to 4.5 because we're going into the wind. Okay. Now I'm going to run downstairs and plug in my autopilot. And this boat could kind of take off on me. It's doing it already before I even... Okay, it'll just take me a second. There we go. I gotta fix that. Okay. Went off course a little bit, so we're going 0.5 miles an hour. The autopilot's not going to work with that trolling motor anyway. So what I think I'm going to do, there's too much wind for that trolling motor. The boat steers good using autopilot when the sails are up. It also steers good when the motor's running and I'm going like maybe 1.5 miles per hour. But when the trolling motor's powering us from the bow and we're going slow like this, the autopilot doesn't work very good. So I'll just keep doing this for a little while yet. Big ball of fish down there. See, as soon as I get just a little bit to the port side of the wind direction or a little bit to the starboard side, the wind starts pushing on this boat and the trolling motor just can't keep up anymore. So I'm not going to use that anymore. That's enough of that shit. Okay, so let's stop the prop up there on the trolling motor, and then we might as well trim up. We'll use that trolling motor again when we get to the island over here. I'll just leave that like that. So I can't see my balls again, my weights, because of our speed. So I'm going to turn this, there we go. Now I can see the starboard one. I want to keep an eye on the port side one, because that's just what I'm used to. Okay, so we're going to pick up speed a little bit because it's better for striped bass. If we were going to use the trolling motor at 0.5 mile an hour, we'd be more likely to catch a catfish. But at 1.5 miles per hour, I'm probably not going to catch anything, because I've been told that the striped bass need a higher speed. Okay, we're in 40 feet now, so let's drop down. I'm going to go down to 20, and which has got us at 24 on the counter. So now we'll drop this one down to 24 also. Okay, we're good. And there's an island up here, and that's what I'm heading for. Checkers, let's... Oh, you need a pet? When he needs a pet, he paws on me. Okay, we're going 1.9. 2.2, 2.3, 2.5, Okay, but I can't see my ball again, so I gotta turn it a little bit this way because the ball is further back now that we're going faster. There it is at 20 feet. Well, we'll see. This is just enjoyable anyway. Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to... No, that's not what I'm going to do. I'll plug that back in. And then I'm going to go... Where's the digi? Streaming. I don't know if I have the digi on this thing.